My name is Lucy Beck and I am 17 years old. I have had a communication aid since I was 7. I use eye gaze on a TG pilot. I love going out with my friends, going to concerts and going on holidays. I didn't really use my device when I first started. I only started using it more frequently when I started school. Initially, I felt overwhelmed because I hadn't used my device much before. It was challenging as I could only read and struggled with spelling. Eventually, I got word predictions on my device and this helped me a lot. I started using my device more when I learned how to spell in secondary school. I used a Toby Dynavox device with Grid 2. You can imagine how difficult that was. I found it really hard, so I rarely used it at all and used other ways to communicate with my family, and my mum would have to translate to other people. After struggling with my first device, I moved on to a Grid pad with Grid 3. This was a little bit easier, and I started to use it more because of this. Now I have a TG pilot, and I use it all day, every day for anything you can think of. Social media, communication, college work, and most importantly, taking selfies. I have cerebral palsy, but this has never stopped me from living my life the way I want to. I still do everything my friends do and have fun. I never struggle with conversations or communicating around my family or friends. Everyone is very supportive of me. My confidence has grown massively, and the main cause of this is my communication aid. I will continue to do the things I want to every day. Before I used my device, I made up my own signs, which only my mum understood. She would translate these signs to the people around me who didn't understand me as well as my mum did. I found this really difficult because I had to rely on other people to communicate for me. An example of this is when I was hungry, I would touch my belly and people around me would know I was hungry. Now I just use my device to tell anyone who is there that I need something. My primary and secondary school were both mainstream schools. In primary school I was the only one in a wheelchair and with a communication device, but I wouldn't really use it. Primary school was okay and I had a few friends, but it was nothing compared to secondary school. This is where things got a lot better for me and my confidence grew a lot. In my secondary school there was a few other people in wheelchairs there, but this wouldn't have bothered me either way. I learned how to use my tech quite quickly and didn't struggle to understand it. I didn't really use it for communication as much at the start. It was more to play games on and practice. The first things I said on a communication device was, "I love you." This was to my mum and she didn't even cry. I couldn't spell very well before secondary school. I learned most of it there. As you can probably tell by now, I overcame a lot in my 5 years at school. Before that, I used a vocabulary page on Grade 3 called IDV, or as my speech and language therapist would call it, the bane of my life. Then one day, after 7 years, she just deleted it. I have never looked back since. Primary school wasn't great for me. I don't feel like I learned much here. It was all when I started secondary I got the hang of it. I only ever used my device in lessons. Other than this, I wouldn't really talk to anyone. I started to communicate with this more after a while when I got more confident and made new friends. Being in a mainstream school has never bothered me. I met my best friends there, and I wouldn't have done that had I not had my communication device. Nobody would have spoken to me or even understood me. I have my own freedom and independence with the help of my communication aid. In year 11 I started my GCSEs. I was so worried about this, but I was determined to pass. I would stay after school to revise and had my TA scribing my revision notes for me. During the actual exams, my school couldn't have been more helpful. I was able to have extra time, my own room and a scribe to write down my answers while I used my communication aid. Because of the support and help they provided me with at school, I left with a 5 in English and a 4 in maths. I am now in college studying health and social care and want to be a special educational needs teacher. Anything is possible when you work for it and have the right support, and I had all the support and patience around me to be able to get to where I am now. My TAs would stay after school, through lunch and break time with me so that I could revise as much as possible. They would do tests on me and make me practice everything over and over again. They were so helpful, and I did all of this with the use of my device. The support at school was amazing. I wouldn't be where I am now if I didn't have the support of them. They were patient and always pushed me to do my best and always had my best interests at heart. I found it easy to make friends at school and was never treated differently of other children, which I am grateful for because I know other people might not have the same experience. As a 17-year-old, me and my friends go on trips, go to festivals, traveling and anything else you can think of that a typical 17-year-old girl does. I do it all and love it. My device comes everywhere with me so I can still socialize and ask for help if I need it. I wouldn't be able to leave the house without it. Here are some of the things I get up to with my friends and family. I currently use every single app you can think of: Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok and Instagram on a daily basis with no troubles. I use it to talk to my friends and family, post selfies and make videos. Besides this making me happy and feel connected, this also makes me feel so much more independent. I can express when something is bothering me or I'm unhappy with something and can give my own opinions and thoughts rather than someone speaking for me. I also use online shopping, watch who's at the door, social media, music, and I'm able to go out with friends. I also have a switch for my TV which turns it on and off at night so nobody has to get up and do it for me. All of my college work is done on here and I am currently using it to job hunt. I felt so stressed before starting college because of how good school was for me. I didn't think I would get the same support. Everything is different at college. I haven't made as many friends at college as I did at school, and I don't feel I am as supported or listened to by some people there. However, I am able to tell people this and pass on how I am feeling, which is always good. It's a lot harder and the message change. Things change here every day and I am not always told about them, which makes things more difficult. I am studying health and social care at college, and although it isn't easy, I will still complete and pass the course. I use my device for everything at college, and is basically my pen and paper. I wouldn't have completed any of my first year without it. My main achievements in life so far are being able to speak my mind and people can actually listen to what I have to say rather than guess what I am thinking. I won second place Rising Star, which I am so proud of. I passed my GCSEs and got into college studying what I want to do. I have just passed my first year of college and am in my second now, where I will still work as hard even when I find it difficult, because I know I will get there. Nothing has ever stopped me from reaching my goals, only pushed me to reach them more. My communication aid is my biggest help. In 5 years' time, I will be in my last year of university and will be on my way to becoming a primary school teacher. I would rather stay local, so Liverpool University sounds good. In 10 years I will be a Senko teacher helping anyone who struggles or needs a hand, because I know what it feels like, but I still want to live at home to annoy my mum every single day. I only have one longer term goal, and that is for me to enjoy life and don't take anything for granted. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you found this to be a good insight on what someone with a communication aid does, how they live, and how anyone with a communication aid can live their life to the fullest with no difference to the people around them. I am happy with my life and wouldn't change anything.